This is why no one can have the F-22.
We are here with another military-based video.
That's right. It's been very informative for us on the channel when we've been doing this kind of content because we have no idea. Obviously, we didn't, grow up in the military or anything like that, but it has been very informative for sure.
Very eye-opening. Especially the budget behind it is one thing that really, I was like, holy crap. Obviously, this stuff's expensive, but like the numbers that you see, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, some of the other videos that we've done have been the most powerful weapons in action. Got to see some of the insane firepower that's in existence. We've done the 5 most elite special forces in the world.
That one was cool.
There's been a lot of really, really cool ones. We've done some from the Fat Electrician, which Sam absolutely
Yes,
loves.
I love those so much.
And we should probably come back to those soon. But anyways, we're getting into the F-22 here. It was developed in 2005 by Lockheed Martin, and really, really seems like it's was ahead of its time in terms of avionics and its capabilities. So I'm excited to find out about the F-22. I feel like I've heard about a lot of F somethings. I don't know, the specifics on how they define that, if that's just the version number or, what it comes after. But give us some details on, why it's the F-22, or maybe we'll find that
out in the video.
I should have maybe kept my mouth shut right there. As soon as I said it, I was like, wait a minute, you idiot. They're probably going to say that in the video. Anyways, I'm sure you don't understand why it's the F-22, right, Sam?
No, but I think they did say in one of the videos that they watched that the numerology associated with the title sometimes has to do with the year that it's produced, and sometimes it has to do with just like a random
I think
association.
that was just speculation.
Yeah.
Because remember, they also said it could have been, it was something that we watched related
it was when they
to
were saying Trump and the
47 would have been.
Yeah. So they were saying, but they did give an example of another plane that was attached to the year that it was produced.
But this was produced in 2006, 2005.
Maybe, I don't know. Let's watch the video and find out, I guess.
2022, so let's go.
You've seen it in games. You've heard the name F-22 Raptor. You probably think you know what it is. A jet, a fighter, a weapon. But that's only part of the story. The truth is far more interesting.
Let's hope so.
The F-22 was designed to win a war that never happened, built in silence, trained in secrecy, tested without fanfare. It flies faster than sound, avoids radar, carries weapons no one sees coming. But here's the twist. It's never been used in real air combat, not once.
Wow.
The US won't sell it, not to NATO, not even to its closest allies. So why does it exist, and what does it really mean? This is Military Expert, and this is not what you think.
It's not.
The F-22 isn't just a fast jet. It's a layered system of power, precision, and invisibility. It wasn't built to fight fair. It was built to end the fight before it begins. Let's start with speed. Most jets need afterburners to go supersonic. The Raptor doesn't. It super cruises, flying faster than the speed of sound without using the extra fuel or heat signature. That means it's harder to hear, harder to see, and harder to catch. Then there's maneuverability. The F-22 can do things in the air that seem impossible. It can twist mid-flight, pivot flat at low speed, and climb or drop at angles that break expectations.
That's pretty insane.
That's thanks to thrust vectoring, engines that move independently of the aircraft, not just forward, but side to side, up and down. This lets the Raptor outmaneuver just about anything, even jets that are newer, and on paper, faster. Then there's stealth. This is where the Raptor becomes something else entirely. Its body deflects radar, its coating absorbs it, and its weapons hidden inside internal bays. It doesn't carry bombs and missiles outside, because that would reflect radar, so everything opens, fires, and closes in under 2 seconds. And while that's happening, it's already leaving the scene.
That's crazy.
But the real advantage is the brain. The F-22 sees before it's seen. Its sensors track multiple enemies at once. It shares data across the battlefield, and it reacts faster than the pilot can speak.
AI.
So what makes it special? It's not one thing, it's everything working together. Speed, stealth, control, awareness. The F-22 isn't just a fighter, it's a first strike without warning.
I was just saying it's so cool that the missile bays, they obviously are not visible until they need to use it. But I was saying it makes it look really cool at the same time because, in the past, they'd have those missiles just kind of hanging off and ready to let go. And
well, to me, I think what's insane is that little hatch that it's stored in opens up, it comes out, and it closes back up in less than 2 seconds. Like,
yeah, it's efficient.
Yeah.
Very, very efficient.
It's wild.
But I think it looks really sick too.
It does.
It kind of looks like a spaceship.
It does to some degree. It's kind of crazy to me, though, that's never been actually used in military combat before.
Yeah.
It's like they developed this like insane cool thing, but by the time they have to actually use it, but by the time they actually have to use it, they'll have a new one.
Well, it could be one of those things, right, where the U.S. Air Force, I think, has been known for its dominance for a really long time. And so there's just not very many countries in the world that even have a strong Air Force to begin with. And so like knowing that they have this, it's a deterrent, and there's no air warfare that takes place because,
nobody wants to go up against this.
Exactly. If there's a bomber out there, if there's a fighter jet out there, this one's probably going to be better. And therefore there's no reason to need to use it just because it exists, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Just a fighter. It's a first strike without warning. The United States sells weapons to almost everyone. Fighters, bombers, drones, even nuclear-capable platforms, if the politics are right. But not the F-22. Never the F-22.
Never. Never say never.
Countries asked: Japan, Australia, Israel. All were told the same thing: no. The official reason was legal. In 1998, Congress passed a ban. It said no money could be used to approve the sale of the F-22 to any foreign government, period. But that's not the full story. Because the law came after the decision, not before it. The real reason was deeper. The US wasn't just protecting the hardware, it was protecting the edge.
Spelling.
The Raptor isn't just a plane, it's a system, and inside that system is software, stealth material, classified tech, stuff that no ally, no matter how close, was allowed to see. What if one crashes overseas? What if the enemy gets access? What if a future government flips sides or leaks data? That's not paranoia, that's history. The US wanted full control, not cooperation, not joint command, monopoly. And that meant one thing: no exports, not ever. So the F-22 became the only jet of its kind that flies only under one flag.
Yeah.
From the outside, the F-22 doesn't look that different. Angular body, smooth surface, gray paint, but that's just the surface. What matters is what you can't see.
The AI.
The radar signature is tiny. To most systems, it looks like a bird. Sometimes it's not visible at all. Its profile on radar is smaller than a metal marble.
Wow.
But stealth isn't just shape, it's heat, it's movement, it's what the enemy can detect, and when. Most jets leave a clear trail. Infrared sensors pick them up by engine heat. The F-22 hides that too. The engine nozzles are shaped and cooled to reduce heat, so even to thermal cameras, it's hard to track.
That's crazy.
That's wild.
Weapons? You won't see them. The Raptor doesn't carry anything externally. Missiles and bombs stay inside. Doors open, it fires, doors close, all in 2 seconds. By the time you know what happened, it's already gone.
See ya.
But the biggest secret isn't on the outside, it's digital, it's the software. Much of it is classified, even to US allies. It controls sensors, targeting, stealth management, and it constantly adapts. Most of it is encrypted, and some of it isn't accessible to pilots at all. It runs in the background, automatically deciding what to show and what to hide.
Wow.
That's why it's not exported, not just because it's advanced, because the US doesn't want anyone else to even try understanding it.
Wow.
The F-22 was expensive, too expensive.
mil.
Each unit cost over $330 million when you include research, development, and upgrades.
That's insane.
And it was designed for a very specific job: air dominance against advanced enemy fighters in a Cold War that never happened. By the time it was ready, those enemies were gone. In the early 2000s, the US wasn't fighting other air forces, it was fighting insurgents. It needed drones, ground attack aircraft, and surveillance, not stealth fighters built for dogfights. And then came the F-35, cheaper, designed for multiple roles, available to allies. Politicians saw a choice: 2 programs, 1 jet for everyone, or 1 jet for no one. In 2009, Congress cut funding. By 2011, the F-22 production line shut down. Only 187 combat-ready Raptors were ever made, and that number hasn't changed since. The US boxed the...
That's so wild that they have something that's so good and so elite and like don't want to give it to anybody, so precious, and then they just stop production like that because they came up with something better. It really tells you how quickly technology evolves.
Yeah.
Even weaponry, obviously.
Well, I mean, I guess it's like, I don't know the answer to this, but like, did they come up with something better, or did they come up with something more flexible that made more sense to be producing? Because it sounded like it was cheaper, it had more flexibility to it, and they were going to be selling it to other people so they could make money off of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, better is a
subjective,
ambiguous term because, maybe it's more customizable. So meaning that they give, the foundational blueprint to what it is. But, like they said on this, the brain of it, the AI, the software, they don't do that. They just say, here you go. Here's the hardware side of things. You guys can figure out the rest. And maybe what made the F-22, like they were saying, so elite was what was inside it and the design. And, you can obviously emulate the design later on, see what works. And so it's not going to be innovative for too long, and it kind of served its purpose. But I just think it's amazing that they had something that was so good, so renowned, the first of its kind, I imagine, to some degree. And such a short period of time, it was like, okay, time to move on.
It's also crazy that they had said there was 187 of them at 330 million a pop. That's a big spend.
There's some billions there. Yeah. All right, we'll finish it up.
Number hasn't changed since. The US boxed the tools, stored the parts, and archived the plans. Rebuilding the line today would cost billions and years. The F-22 didn't fail. It was simply too much, too costly, too specialized, too early.
Economies of scale.
The F-22 has never been in a real air-to-air fight. Not once. Not in Iraq. Not in Syria. Not in any war the US has fought.
Let's try it out.
It was designed to dominate the skies, but the skies were already clear. Instead of fighting enemy jets, the Raptor ended up doing something else, flying patrols, showing presence, and staying out of reach. That's not because it isn't capable, it's because it's too valuable to risk. If one crashes, it could fall into enemy hands. The tech inside is still classified, still unmatched. Every time the Raptor takes off, commanders have to weigh the cost of exposure. In most cases, it's not worth it.
Imagine flying one of those.
But there's more to it. Even without fighting, the F-22 changes behavior. Enemy pilots leave the area when it shows up. Skirmishes break off. Airspace clears. It wins fights just by being there. The Raptor isn't a killer. It's a deterrent, a message. And that message is clear. Don't even try.
The meaning of the Raptor.
The F-22 isn't just a jet, it's a message. Most weapons are designed to be used. The Raptor was designed to be avoided.
Deterrent.
It doesn't lead attacks, it leads perception. Its presence changes behavior without ever pulling the trigger. It's fast, but it doesn't chase. It's stealthy, but it doesn't hide. It just exists in the sky, and everyone knows it. It was never exported, never copied, never even truly challenged, and that's what gives it power. Not what it's done, but what it could do. In a way, the F-22 is more than a fighter. It's a boundary. It defines what's off limits. It tells the world, this is where air dominance begins and ends.
Don't mess
It's
with
not
the
famous
F-22.
for what it destroyed. It's known for what it prevented, and that might be the rarest kind of weapon. This was military expert, and this was not what you think.
Power through strength.
It's kind of crazy because obviously this was made a while ago now, and you'd think that somebody would have maybe like caught up with this technology by now, but it sounds like they haven't.
Well, yeah, we've done some videos. I want to say like the S-72. I can't remember if that's what it is, but there's a lot of stealth based stuff now and AI stuff that's come out. We've done some videos on that, and I think you are seeing the evolution of it. But again,
I mean,
it
that was
comes,
still the US though, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm surprised other countries, because they've been trying to hide this because it's so secret, right? I'm surprised that like other countries haven't advanced their technology enough by now that they'd have something that could even be like somewhat comparable to that.
Well, I think it comes back to what does a country perceive as war, and where does the strength come from? We talked about, excuse me, the U.S. Their mantra was they wanted to protect the skies, right? Because the Cold War. That's kind of where it all stemmed from. But now I would look at it as, you don't really need planes all that much. I mean, probably to complete specialized missions, and if they're undetectable, again, that would be somewhere you could get over somebody's country, and they wouldn't be able to detect you. But at the same time, you have drones that potentially can do a lot of that stuff now. You also have missiles, long range missiles that are
that's fair.
very accurate, very fast. So do you really need a plane anymore, especially a fighter jet, right? I think that's questionable, and maybe why we're not seeing any other countries trying
That's
to
fair.
develop that, because there's so many other types of weapons. I mean, I'm sure they have technology now that we can't even imagine, where they just knock out power grids in a second, and that would knock out radar systems and everything else. So it's interesting, the changes in dynamics of warfare. And I think one other thing that was interesting to me was that when yesterday or the day before, we were talking about the evolution of AI, and the fact that some people, I would say most people, don't realize that we've used AI for a really, really long time,
Yeah.
and a lot of different technology already.
Especially
but now
in military.
now it's just becoming more at the forefront and more intelligent. And we see here this instance in 2005, they were using it to detect and maximize the efficiency of their weapon systems way back then, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
imagine what they're doing now with artificial intelligence. But to me, like I said, it just really highlights, we've been using it for a long time. We just haven't really
Just
paid
coming
attention.
to the mainstream now.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's crazy, the capabilities of this thing though.
We'd love to see it in person,
Yeah.
just at an air show or something like that. Just, because it looks so sleek, so smooth. And I imagine it's so fast. Even some of those visuals that we saw there, where it's like taking off and then it's gone. Like you don't see it anymore.
Yeah. Very, very smooth, like you said. Well, I'm sure one of these days it's going to end up in a museum somewhere.
In a museum, military museum.
Yeah.
I mean, it already is.
Eventually, who knows how far from now that will be in the future, but
Maybe there's a decommissioned one that is somewhere, because I know they're pretty expensive, so that you wouldn't want it just sitting around in a museum in case you need it. But anyways, let us know if there's anything else we should check out. Give us insights about the F-22 and why it's called that, because we never found that out.
Phil didn't get his question answered.
That was one piece of information we didn't have answered that you can give us, and we have enjoyed these videos. So give us more suggestions down below. If not, we'll try to find some more on our own. Other than that, have a great day, guys. We'll see you in our next video.
Thanks for watching.